Are you ready to let go of your fears and limiting beliefs? Ready to live in the moment? Ready to live a positive life by creating new habits? You're in the right place. Join us every week at the Reinvent Yourself to Greatness with Sahar show to learn how to create the happy life you always wanted and deserved now.
Hello. This is your host, Sahar Andrade, and this is the Reinvent Yourself to Greatness with Sahar. Because of what the times that we are going through right now, which is really a time of uncertainty, anxiety, don't know what's going to happen. We feel like we're losing control. Some people are really depressed because they don't know what's going to happen. They fail to see the light at the end of the tunnel and they keep being inside the dark tunnel. And I'm here to tell you that this is not the end of the world, that we are going to emerge out of that. This is from someone that lived through catastrophes before. You know, we survived 9/11. I survived in 1994, the big earthquake where I lost everything. You know, I was a victim of fires and, lost few times in my life. And I always come back stronger. Not because I'm a superhero and not because I'm femme extraordinaire. It has nothing to do with that. It just has to do with our mindset. So today I thought about sharing four things or four powerful ways that we can stay positive with. Because sometimes staying positive is easier said than done. And that's why there are many ways that you can be positive with, actually, and have a positive attitude, but I'm going to share only four now. We all hear that people tell us, oh, just stay positive. And if it's like it's a switch that you turn on and off, but we all know it's not like that. The greater the challenge, the more that we see the glass is half empty than half full. We should embrace the wisdom of always looking at the glass half full. And if we do that, I know that sometimes people will look at this. This is a new word that I learned, by the way, and that's why I want to share it. Pollyannish, like where you see everything is rosy and everything is pinkish and everything is great. And some people even think it's unrealistic. But I'm one of those people that always sees the light around the clouds. I am very optimistic, maybe because I'm a Libra. I don't know. You want to call me Pollyannish? Here we go, the word that I just learned. I'm fine with that. Sometimes it's hard to find the motivation to focus on the positive when the positivity seems like nothing more than wishful thinking. And I get that. I get that feeling, believe me. But the only obstacle, or the real obstacle for positivity, is that our brains are wired, they are created on focusing on danger, either real or perceived, and focusing on threats. The survival mechanism is what made us or served us as human beings since the caveman, when the kittens, either to catch food for their family or to survive. Living every day with a real threat that either they can be killed by someone or something in their surrounding, or someone can take away their possessions. But we need to remember this was millions and millions and millions of years ago, centuries ago. And I understand that the human brain never really changed from the caveman till now, but our way of thinking is what changed. Yes, the old mechanism actually breeds negativity and breeds pessimism, and that's why our negativity thinking is the default of our brain. Though the mind can actually changes itself to positive, my tendency to wonder actually is how we survive because of the threats around you. The threats magnify the perceived way of how things are gonna go, or how it's gonna be performed in a poor way. When the threat is real and when it's like we can see it down the path, this mechanism actually serves us well, because this is, again, it's a survival mechanism. Our brain is an efficiency tool. But if the threat is something that we imagine, that is not there, but we keep like totally focusing and going through that, down that rabbit hole, and we spend 2 to 3 months or even years convicted or convinced that this is something that is going to change our life or do havoc in our life, this is when we need to start thinking in a different way. Looking at things like if they are threat, it leaves us with a very sour taste in our mouth of what reality is, and that can wreaks actually havoc in our life. Maintaining positivity is a daily challenge that requires focus and attention, that requires a seeked after attention and effort that we need to do to stay positive, because again, negativity is our default. We must, and I'm not saying here like just like it's a woo-hoo thing and let's like light candles and sing kumbaya. Though lighting candles can help, and I'm not saying just go into Zen. Though Zen is the perfect medium that we should thrive to achieve, to stay positive, but it's not about that. It's about overcoming our brain tendency to focus on threats. But it won't happen on its own, and it won't happen because we're gonna flip a switch. That's why positivity is a skill that we need to pay extra attention to, and now is the very right time. We have so much time on our hands, and because of what's going on and because of the news, we are tending to go into a negative hole and see everything as doom and gloom, catastrophizing everything. So I want you to know that there is actually a correlation between positivity and your health. Pessimism or being pessimistic all the time is trouble because it's bad for your health. Even the Mayo Clinic has found that optimistic people have lower level of heart diseases and longer lifespans. Also, it's the same thing that leads that pessimism can actually shorten your life. Yes, the exact factors have not been identified, but even Yale is associated with a weaker immune system. And it all comes from stress and cortisol that is basically acts against our body, our safety, and our health. And also pessimism or positivity, either or, I mean, whatever you're looking at, has to do with our performance and our productivity. Obviously, if everything is doom and gloom, our productivity will go really down. So keeping a positive attitude is not just good for your health, but it's the connection between what you can perform, achieve, and be productive. So these are the 4 things that I'm going to share with you to stay positive. The first thing that you can do is in the morning, the minute you wake up, take a deep breath, and go out, or look from a window and look at one thing that you think is beautiful. One thing, like even if you see beauty in the clouds, just acknowledge that there is beauty. Or if you have dogs or a pet, look at them and look at the unconditional love that they show you in their eyes. That's all you need to do in the beginning. Number 2, separate that what we think is only in our head and has nothing to do with reality. So separate what is reality and non-reality. So the first step in learning how to focus on the positive thing means that you need to learn how to stop negative thinking or negative self-talk in its track. And I know it's not easy, because the more we go deeper and deeper in negative thought, the more power we give it over us. So when we find ourselves going down that negative path, what we need to do, the first thing that you need to do, believe, write things down, and our eyes see something that is written in front of our eyes, our brain will not understand what it is. So this way we can deal with it right away. And start thinking about it. If you're really that stuck, is it because there is something that you can ask for help for? Is it something that you can change on your own? Is it something that you need to learn? Is it something maybe that you can see a therapist for? Is it something that you can ask a friend or a colleague to help you with? And maybe this is something that say, I don't even know if this is true. This never happened to me. So now you are separating between, what is fake and what is reality. Did this happen before? Did it always happen? Because our brain's natural threat tendency inflates or multiplies the severity of what we can see as negative. So separate your thoughts from facts. Is it something that I for sure know it happened or is happening? Or this is something that my brain just think it might happen to protect me? The change will not happen overnight. So you need to practice it. And as we know, any habits is formed in 21 days. No matter what happens, you know how they tell you, this is the second tip. Remember how they tell you that out of lemon, try something positive that is coming out of it. Like when the COVID-19 or coronavirus started, I started feeling like really down with everything around us. And then I started feeling like, oh, you know what? I'm not kidding you. I have probably like 7 to 10 projects that I had started and just being busy at work, driving here and there and meeting with clients would stop me from doing it. Though it's something that these projects were things that were refreshing my soul and something that makes me happy. But I always put it on the back burner because I felt I need to work and make money. So I always didn't have time for them. And now I have time, and I have been starting this project one by one, and I have such a coolness inside of me now that I feel that I'm so fulfilled and satisfied because I'm starting doing what I love to do. I'm spending more time with my husband. I'm playing more with my dogs because I never had the time before. It's making me feel that I need to think about what I'm eating now because I need to be healthy, because I need to maintain my immune system. Now I have the time to stop and smell the color. So this is a blessing in disguise. And please don't get me wrong. My heart goes and I have pain from people that have been passing away from that disease and people that are suffering from it. But I'm saying that we can look individually at something positive in what we have. The point here is that we must have something positive to have it ready to shift our attention to when our thoughts turn negative. Again, this is a habit muscle that we can build, but we have to be willing to do it and go through it. The fourth point that I want to share with you is what we call develop a gratitude attitude. Meaning is like you need to contemplate what you're grateful for. Maybe this is the time to start a gratitude journal. Write 1 or 3 things new every single morning in your gratitude journal, either handwritten or on your computer, about 3 things that you are grateful for. When you do that you like, for example, some universities found that when you daily work on cultivating that attitude of gratitude, you will experience improved mood, energy, and less anxiety because the cortisol levels in your blood is less. When you cultivate a gratitude attitude by taking the time every day to acknowledge what is going right in your life, but what is going positive in your life. Anytime you experience that negative thought, Use it as a cue to shift gears, for mind shift, to think instead of something negative to something positive. This way you have a stock, you have an inventory of positive things that you can shift your mind. You can shift your mind from negative to positive. And I know these 4 tips might sound like it's a no-brainer or duh, I knew that. And it's common logic, but like Brendan Burchard says, common logic or common sense is not usually common practice. So we need actually to break our old habits and start building new ones. Habits are like muscles. The more you exercise them, the more they happen. So specifically that the default of our brain is negative, so we are working against nature force here. But if we do that, we are gonna reap the benefit, the physical, the mental, the psychological, the productivity levels, the performance benefits that come when we have a mindset that is framed in optimism and positivity. Hope this helped you. It just takes us to recognize it and bring it to the surface. Till I see you next time, reinventors, this is Sahar and Radi. I'm out of here. See you next time.
Thanks for listening to Reinvent Yourself to Greatness with Sahar Andrade. Tune in next week for even more inspiration and tools to create the happy life you've always wanted. Go to www.reinventyourselftogreatness.com or send us an email at info@reinventyourselftogreatness.com. See you next time.